No, thank you. Gosh, jeez. It's the only way to clean a stained whiteboard. I tend to have a really bad habit of writing stuff on that whiteboard and leaving it up for way too long. It doesn't come off. And so I have to adhere to, what is this, hand sanitizer, paper towels, and a ton of elbow grease. Just... I love it when I clean my office, not just because my office gets clean. In the process of cleaning, I tend to find items that I lost that are like absolute gems. And this is what I found. It's a hacky sack. I used to be way better at this. I'll practice, don't worry. It's been said by many that life is 10% of what actually happens and 90% of how people react to what is happening. I'm going to show you 4 videos of different things, and depending on whatever that thing is, you'll either have a happy reaction or a sad reaction. I hope you get them all right. The first one, here we go. I would hope that something as tragic as a forest fire would cause you to have a sad reaction. Let's go with the second video.
And then Ronaldo! What a goal by Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational!
There is nothing like the thrill of scoring a goal. It just brings so much happiness. So obviously that is renders a happy reaction. Here's the third one. It would take a very unique human being to have ice cream be something that makes them sad. Clearly, eating ice cream makes us happy. And here is the fourth thing. There's probably many reactions we have if and ever we've been to the point where we've had $0 in our bank account, but definitely one of those reactions would be to be very sad. And that's kind of what's happening in our passage today in the first 4 chapters of the book of Amos. Amos was a prophet primarily to the people of Israel, but in these first few chapters of Amos's book, we see that he's proclaiming judgment upon neighboring nations around the people of Israel, but then in chapter 2, he really then hits Israel themselves. He comes down very hard on Israel, and rightfully so, because Israel, they had for so long had a track record of going after other gods and doing their own thing, but while still maintaining certain religious practices in hopes to appease Yahweh and to make him happy with them. A couple times in these first 4 chapters, we see that God makes it very clear that he is fed up with their spiritual practices, and that what he really wants is their hearts. He really wants them to prioritize justice and righteousness and not just do these religious practices because, well, that's what they think is the right thing to do. In fact, even at one point, he calls their religious practices essentially sin. But what was most impactful to me from today's reading was in chapter 4, primarily from verses 6 until 13, the end of the chapter, where God gives his people reasons as to why they have no excuse as to why they should not follow Yahweh and follow some other God. God basically says, I've proved myself to you throughout history that I am true, that I care about you, that I love you. So why in the world would you not love me back or follow me? As we're talking about kind of reactions today, I couldn't help but think that the primary and the main and the right reaction for us to have as human beings when it comes to beholding who God is and what God has done, the right reaction is for us to fully devote ourselves to him and to follow him. Much like the whole forest fire thing, we have forest fires raging right now in the western part of our country, and the obvious reaction to forest fires is to be sad, maybe even angry, to be frustrated. That's just the natural reaction. The natural reaction when it comes to us beholding who God is and what God has done is for us to follow him fully and to completely devote ourselves to him.